Handmade.design. Today I'm going to show you how to make A-line dress pattern paper. This A-line dress pattern paper that I'm making today is for 3 to 4 years old child. Don't forget to watch the video to the end so that you understand how I make this pattern paper. So let's get started. As you can see that I have drawn a line right here. I place my ruler, I just give it a straight line because my edge for the pattern paper is not so smooth, so that is why I draw a line right here. So from this line down will be my starting point for this dress that we are making today. First thing that you have to do, from this line I will take my length all the way down. That is the length of my pattern paper. So the length of my pattern paper is 56 centimeter. So what you're going to do, you place your measuring tape, you're going to measure all the way down to 56 centimeter. Once you measure that, you come down to the other side, you do the same thing. You measure down 56 centimeters so that you have a straight line. I have measured down my 56 centimeters. This will be the length of the pattern paper that I am making. So what you're going to do, place your ruler like this so that I have a straight line. That is why I give it a mark right there, and I will just go ahead and mark it like this. So this will be the end of my pattern paper. The next thing that you have to do is to put the child shoulder measurement. The child shoulder measurement that I have here is 24 centimeter. 24 divided by 2, you have 12 centimeter. So I will place my measuring tape like this from the beginning of the pattern paper. I'll place my measuring tape and I will mark 12 centimeters right here. So I'll move it down again because I want to have a straight line. I'll move it down and I'll mark 12 centimeter again. Once you have done that, the next thing that you have to do is to take the shoulder slope. The shoulder slope that I'm going to take on this pattern paper is 1 centimeter. I'll place my measuring tape from this line right here. This is 1 centimeter. You can see that. Now that you have marked your shoulder slope, the next thing that you have to do, you're going to take the width of the neckline from the pattern paper. So you place your measuring tape. The width of my neckline that I'm going to take on this pattern paper is 6.5 centimeter. So this is 6.5 centimeter right here. Now what you're going to do, you place your ruler. You're going to connect from the shoulder slope down to this line. So you place your ruler like this and then you give it a slant mark. This is how it is. The next thing that you have to do, you're going to take the armhole length. So my armhole length is 12.7 centimeter. So what you're going to do, you place your measuring tape from the shoulder slope, not from the beginning, from the shoulder slope. You place your measuring tape. You're going to take 12.7 centimeter. So 12.7 centimeter is right here. Once you have done that, then place your ruler and give it a straight mark. Now that you have get your armhole length, the next thing that you have to do, you're going to put the child chest measurement. The child chest measurement that I have is 57 centimeter. 57 divided by 4, you have 14.25 centimeter. So what you're going to do, you place your measuring tape, 14.25 centimeter. Before you draw the child chest measurement, place your measuring tape, take the total length of your armhole length. The total length of my armhole length is 14 centimeter. Then you move your measuring tape to the beginning of your pattern paper. You put that same 14 centimeter so that you have a straight line. Then you place your ruler like this and you give it a straight mark. So once you have done that, the next thing that you have to do, you're going to add ease to the chest line. If you don't want to add ease on your pattern paper, don't forget to add seam allowance. But for this pattern paper that I'm making, I'm going to add ease to that. So I will add 1.5 ease on this pattern paper. And don't forget to add your seam allowance. You can add 1 centimeter seam allowance or 1.5 centimeter seam allowance. But if you're a beginner, make sure you add 2 centimeter seam allowance. Why am I adding ease on this pattern paper? If you're making a dress for a little child, you don't want the armhole to be tight. You want the armhole to be free. So that is why I add 1.5 centimeter. So I'm going to add 1 centimeter. That will be my seam allowance. It's right here. Once you have done that, the next thing that you have to do, you're going to take the mid part of your armhole length. So what you're going to do, you place your measuring tape like this from the shoulder slope, not from the beginning, and then you place it on top of each other, just like this. So you're going to take the mid part like this. This is the mid part of the armhole length. Once you have done that, from this mid part, you'll place your measuring tape again. You'll measure inside 1 centimeter. It's right here. Why do I take 1 centimeter inside the pattern from the armhole length? Because the front armhole is deeper than the back armhole. So don't forget, make sure that when you're making any pattern paper, the front armhole is always deeper than the back armhole. Then you place your armhole curve just like this. Then you place your ruler like this from the shoulder slope. So this will be the front armhole. And then you place your armhole curve again. If you're going to take the back armhole starts from here. Then you place it like this. Next thing that you have to do, you place your measuring tape at the chest line of the pattern paper that you're making. You are going to take the total length of the chest line. So place your measuring tape like this. The total length that I have here is 17 centimeter. Then you come down. This is the end of my pattern paper. That is the length. So you come down here. You're going to put that same 17 centimeter right here. So what you're going to do, you're going to add more inches to that because A-line dress is free, it's not tight. So you place your measuring tape, you're going to add 7.5 centimeter. So this is my 7.5 centimeter is right here. So what you're going to do, you take your ruler like this. You're going to place it like this from the armhole on the way down to the length of your pattern paper. So you place it like this. I hope you guys can see that. You see the way I place it, and then you just take your marker or your pencil. You just give it a slant mark like this. The next thing that you have to do, now that you have done that, you place your measuring tape again. This is the end of your pattern paper. That is the length. You place your measuring tape like this. You measure up 1 centimeter or 1.5 centimeter. That is totally up to you. I'll just place it 1.5 centimeter like this. So what you're going to do, you take your armhole curve. You take your armhole curve, you're going to place it like this. When you're making a dress, you don't want it to be sharp. You want it to be a little bit curvy. So you just place your armhole curve and and then like this. You can see the way that is. Next thing that you have to do is to put the length of the neckline. The back neckline, I will measure down 2 centimeters, while the front neckline, I will measure down 6.5 centimeters. So what you're going to do, you take your armhole curve. So this will be my back neckline like this. And then my front neckline is like this. So this is how it is. You have finally make your own pattern paper for yourself or for your loved ones. Don't forget to add your seam allowance. When you're cutting it out or when you're going to place it on your fabric, when you're making a dress, add seam allowance on the front neckline, add seam allowance on the back neckline, and also add seam allowance on the shoulder. If you do not add seam allowance on the back and the neckline and also the shoulder, when you're making your dress, the back neckline will be deeper, the front neckline will be deeper, and also the shoulder will be shorter. So the best way is for you to add 1 centimeter seam allowance from the back and front neckline and 1 centimeter seam allowance for the shoulder seam. So once you have, the next thing that you have to do is just go ahead and first cut out the back neckline, the shoulder, the back armhole, and all the way down. So go ahead and cut that out, and then we can place it in a different pattern paper, trace that out, and then cut out the front neckline, the front armhole, and then trace it all out. I have cut out my front and back pattern paper. This is how it is right now. For the back pattern paper, I add 2.5 centimeters. This will be my zipper or button holes. So make sure to add 2.5 centimeters or 3 centimeters. But if you are making a dress with a button loop, you don't need this 2.5 centimeters. Just place your back pattern paper on fold, because you're just going to cut few inches and put your button loop, that is all. But if you are making a dress with zipper or buttonholes, you're going to cut your back pattern paper 2 pieces. Your front pattern paper will be on fold, that is 1 pieces. I just want to explain that. And make sure to also add 1 centimeter seam allowance from the armhole. Hope you can make A-line dress for your kids or loved ones. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Make a comment down below if you have any question to ask. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a beautiful, beautiful day. Bye.